Hi guys, my name is Peculiar and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So initially this was supposed to be a get ready with me, but after seeing the makeup results, it was too good, so I had to make this a short tutorial. Before I proceed, I'm just going to ask you guys to kindly hit the subscribe button and also give this video a like as I'm trying to grow this channel. So over here, I've done all the necessary skin prep and I'm just using the NYX brow gel to sculpt my brows. I usually like using a lifted motion and then using my hand to secure that in place. So I'm just going in with a color corrector under my eyes and over spots where I have hyperpigmentation, and I just like to do this just so when I apply my foundation it's not gray, and then I use a fluffy brush and just fluff that out to give it a nice finish. Using the one, the only, the infamous Haus foundation, the foundation that has never failed me. I'm just gonna apply 2 pumps, guys. 2 pumps was enough and you get full coverage and it's very beautiful. This is not even sponsored, but it's just a good product review. And I just applied this using a small flat brush, preferably a big one if you do, and I just applied this all over my face. Then I'm going in with a wet beauty blender and I'm just using tapping motions all over my face just to blend that properly. Just know that if you use a beauty blender though, it does soak up more product. That's why I tend to see people using a brush, but beauty blender just does it so seamlessly for me, and it's just what works for me. And that's the thing about makeup, you can just use whatever that works for you. I'm using this e.l.f. Camo concealer in the shade medium beige, and I just apply concealer where light typically hits my face. I like to make sure that the concealer that I apply on my under eyes, I like to drag it upwards just so I have a lifted look. And you're also going to notice that any product that I'm applying on my face, I just like to place it on like specific areas just so my face looks lifted because I have a round face. I'm going to use a brush to blend this out, and then I'm going to use a wet beauty blender to blend this out as well. Also guys, I need new recommendations for a concealer, so if you know good concealers, please recommend them down in the comments below. So I use a beauty blender to blend that concealer properly and pick up any excess product that I don't need. So after blending my concealer, I just like to bronze or contour. I like using this milk contour stick as a bronzer. I don't know why, but the difference between contour and bronzer to me is that contour kind of adds like shadow and depth to the face, and bronzer just warms up the face. Just know that contour is more cool toned and bronzer is more warm. I basically used a small brush to pick up products and put on my eyelid for a basic eyeshadow look. And over here I used a contour brush to also pick up products and just apply that on my face. Over here I thought I had ruined my makeup, but I just needed to blend it. So basically I applied on my cheekbones, under my jaw, and on top of my forehead. And you know, just doing this to create shadow and create depth and just hide some things like my double chin. So yeah, just blend that in. And it's all about the blending, guys. We should not be lazy when it comes to blending. Let's actually put our all into this. Let's actually put most of our effort in blending, because that's where your makeup lies. That's gonna make or break your makeup. So do not slack when it comes to blending out your products. I basically fixed the disaster that occurred before, and I just needed to blend. That is why you blend your products. Next, I'm going to add my blush. Please, can you take note of the placement of where I placed my blush? Where did I place it? Highly on my cheeks. Why did I place it highly on my cheeks, if you may ask? I want to achieve a very lifted look. That is why I place it highly on my cheeks. I have a round face, so placing it highly on my cheeks will just give me a lifted look that is going to make my face look snatched. And I also use a fluffy brush to blend out my blush, just so that it reaches, you know, parts that it needs to reach, and it blends out seamlessly. I'm going to set my face with the Morphe loose setting powder in the shade translucent, and I'm just going to put this under my eyes. I'm going to look up when I'm setting the setting powder, just so there's no like creasing or anything under my eyes. And make sure that before you set any part of setting your makeup comes last, and that includes loose setting powder, pressed powder, and setting spray. These things come last. Make sure you like the way your face looks before you set anything. The way your makeup looks before you set your face is the way you want people to see your makeup throughout the day. That's literally it. So make sure you are happy with what your face is looking like before you set your face with any setting product. I basically used a powder puff to apply the powder all over my face, but mostly under my eyes, on top of my chin, and then on top of my forehead. And I just used the powder puff to create those cheekbone lines. And then I use a fluffy brush to dust out all the excess powder. Make sure when you're dusting it out, all the harsh lines are gone, because the next step is the setting spray, and you don't want to set harsh lines. Setting spray means you're locking what you've just done in. You don't want to lock in harsh lines, guys, because you're going to be walking with a long mark on your face, and it's just like, did you rush your makeup? So you don't want to look like that. So you want to set everything properly and make sure all the harsh lines are gone before using setting spray. Yeah, you're probably wondering, like, what's this crazy girl doing putting contour on her lips? But hear me out. So I was basically on a ski trip when I filmed this video, and I forgot to pack my lip liner. So I basically had to be innovative, and I had to use the contour as a lip liner, and it worked. Like, it worked. It served its purpose. So that's that. So I used some of the powder on my powder puff just to set the contour, just so it doesn't move when I applied the lip gloss. And remember what I said about the setting spray. Scan your face, look at your face, and ask yourself, do I really like how my makeup is looking? If the answer is no, go ahead and do touch-ups. Like, you can always go back and touch up your makeup. So I basically just spray, and I use my hand as a fan to like blow and just dry that spray. This is actually a setting mist that I'm using, and I'm going to link it in the description. So basically, after that, I just do my hair, apply some mousse. Honestly, hair is a very important aspect for me when it comes to any routine. I feel like doing my hair just makes me more confident even, and it just, makes the whole appearance come together. So I applied mousse and I just did my edges. And then lastly, I just did my last touch up, which is just, dusting any powder on my face. And then I went in with the Maybelline pressed powder, and I just went in and just, secured the whole look with the pressed powder. And then I used the end of a spoolie just to apply some highlighter in the inner corner of my eye. I just like doing this just to give it a shine. You don't have to do this. But yeah, guys, that is the makeup look. I was feeling myself so much after this look because it came out so nice. I also really hope I've been able to teach you something new today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and also turn your post notifications so you can get notified every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.